Good day to you one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. The first thing I'm going to say to you is apologies for the quality of this episode. I'm just using my laptop in a dimly lit annex room adjacent to the high-tech recording facility that I'm working in with the darkness at the moment. We're making a record. It's got to be delivered by September or October, and in the meantime, we're doing all of the festivals. It's the busiest summer I can ever remember, and apparently it's, just in terms of the shows, it's the busiest year we've ever had. Things, not that I fetishize busyness. We're human beings, not human doings. Is that how that thing goes? I don't know. I've seen it before on the internet. Anyway, I tried to make this better lit, and as soon as I did that, the screen started flickering, so I switched that main light off, so you might find it's a bit fuzzy while it's sort of fighting for enough visual information to be able to create this episode for you. And today I'm going to be talking about ticket prices, concert ticket prices, and the uproar caused by the high cost of some of them, especially in relation to an artist called Sabrina Carpenter, who I'm not really familiar with her work, so it'll be educating for me, and hopefully it will be a launch pad for some important discussion in the comments down there. I'm going to use the ukulele just because it's here, and I like the, what is that, Lake Placid blue finish on it? It's just gorgeous, isn't it? Justin Hawkins rides again. I was sort of merging major and minor then. That's one of the things I do. It's called the blues. Get over it. I'll put this guitar down because we're going to be talking mostly today. So there was trouble in the UK last week when pre-sale tickets for Sabrina Carpenter's upcoming short suite tour were released. Do you ever think that the Guns N' Roses logo would look different if they didn't put the apostrophe before and after the N? So it was Guns and Roses, and this would be short and sweet. Short sweet. Short Anyway, fans reported that within minutes the prices of the tickets climbed from £58, which is approximately 74 American dollars, 114 Australian dollars, or 825 Norwegian kroner. I'm not sure how many Turkish lira it would be, probably in the billions maybe, to £220, and that's around 283 American dollars, 433 Australian dollars, and 3,132 Norwegian kroner, after the lower price tickets were snapped up. Now, what is that then? Is that what they call that dynamic pricing, or is that just like supply and demand? Is that like when there's one more seat on an aeroplane remaining and it's at a premium? What's going on? The internet and the press have responded with outrage. The Scottish Sun declared Sabrina not so sweet and headlined how fans were crying, we need to boycott. Although it emerged in the article which followed that it was actually just one fan called Neil who had written on Twitter, folk need to start boycotting gigs over ticket prices. £221 to £350 per head for us to take our daughter to see Sabrina Carpenter in Glasgow at the OVO Hydro is absolutely outrageous. No thanks. Who is actually paying that and thinking, all right, seems fair to me? That's actually really smart. If I was going to go to a gig and then dynamic pricing meant that the early tickets cost one thing and all the others were more expensive, I would be saying, you lot need to boycott this because the prices are going to go up, and then I'll be like, let's have a few tickets for me and the family. On Reddit, a heated debate broke out. Unlikely Experience stated, it feels like she's been big for like 5 business days. What the fuck? While the real way is always rescue asked, this much to hear espresso and then leave? And Product Pretty 4265 posed a similar question. She had 2 viral songs in all of her career and suddenly she's big enough to charge this amount. Well, actually, I don't think the question should be about, how many songs she's got or how successful her recorded output has been. The fact of the matter is, if there's demand for her to play I think the OVO Hydro is actually, that's a pretty big 12,000 capacity standing arena, and a promoter's not going to put that artist in there if they don't think they can sell those tickets. And when the early ones go, the other ones go up. Anyway, they were, of course, referring to Sabrina's 2 enormous hits this year, Espresso, and its follow-up, of course, Please, Please, Please. But no amount of niceties or pleases could stop the angry headlines, with words including astronomical, that was BBC News, scandalous, that was the Daily Mail, and unbelievably high, The Sun. Of course, it's not just Sabrina Carpenter who has faced this kind of backlash. Taylor Swift, Bruce Springsteen, Harry Styles, and Billie Eilish have attracted similar headlines, as have festivals including Glastonbury. So what's going on? Is it down to demand? Is it the thinking computer's fault for escalating prices dynamically? I think when my producer says thinking computer, they are referring indeed to artificial or enhanced intelligence. And is it those VIP strap-ons, add-ons, or additional fees? And that's before we get into the dark art of resales. Some have publicly challenged pricing practices, including The Cure's Robert Smith, who I once heckled. I didn't really set out with the intention of heckling The Cure's Robert Smith. I'm a big fan of The Cure. I was disappointed that Robert Smith didn't like the darkness, so I called him a useless-haired cock. I'm not proud of that. And I know it's going to get cut out, so I can just say it every time his name comes up. The beautiful South's Paul Heaton, who's always doing stuff like that, he capped prices for his arena tour. And then, of course, Young Blood, whose solution was to stage his own reasonably priced festival called Bloodfest. I've only just realised why it's called Bloodfest. It's because of the blood bit in his Young Blood, isn't it? Yeah. But is any of it justified? And how do musicians make money now that music is no longer a product? It is, in fact, a streaming service that for most pays very little. And live music costs. The thing is, your overheads as a touring entity, especially if you're putting on an arena show. The thing about arenas is they're basically just rectangular rooms, aren't they? They're big rectangular rooms that you need to bring all of the staging, all the PA gear, all the lighting, and all the crew to operate that stuff. It's you see all those trucks parked outside. Someone's got to drive them. It's expensive stuff, you know. So you have, for example, venue hire. You have to pay for hotels. The transport, and that's not just the tour bus for the members of the band. In most instances, you'll have the demands on the band are different to that of the crew. Like the crew's going to need to load in way earlier than the band, so the band might show up later. That means you need 2 buses just for the people who are playing the instruments and singing. I nearly did that, and singing. Playing the instruments and singing, or providing the musical accompaniment for the singing. And also, you might have another bus then for the people who are doing the lighting, the riggers, and the other kinds of technicians that are involved. The food budget, they need to be fed, so you have catering and all that stuff. The thing about arena touring like that is that the experience and the spectacle of it is as important as the way the music makes you feel. To go and experience it in real time, real life, is totally different to streaming it for no specific commitment to the artist, and it's the artist's actual opportunity to cash in. And it sounds cynical to say that, but doing arena touring, the idea of it is to make as much money as possible. And if there is demand for those tickets and people are prepared to pay that money, that's what's going to happen. Unless you are somebody like Paul Heaton, who can afford to be the man of the people and put his money where his mouth is and actually cap the ticket prices, which is entirely admirable. Use the comment section to discuss. It's important stuff. Justin Hawkins writes again. I think it's interesting that, like, nowadays it's kind of like we feel like the punter is the person that's getting ripped off, whereas traditionally, since the 1950s, the artist has been getting ripped off left, right and centre. Everybody's making money off the artist, and sometimes the artist isn't making any money. But now it's the punters. God, they'll find a way to get us eventually, won't they? I don't know who I'm talking about there. The corporations, whoever they are. Anyway, I love a corporation. I'd love it. I'd love to be a major label artist and command that sort of money, and then say, no, let's leave it at a reasonable price, and then be able to say that and actually still be able to live, still be able to wear cashmere jumpers and stuff. Not cashmere, because that's not vegan. Fuck, I can never say anything anymore. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, watch one of these 2 videos, and I'll see you guys at the next Sabrina Carpenter concert, probably. I'll be in the front row, leaping and bounding with the eternal joy of a music enthusiast that's paid good money to see a great artist up close and personal in real life. Nice one, guys. See you later. Again.